we're just going to get a story about alligators out of the way right up front, because this is an excellent, excellent story, you guys. Apparently, DHS has announced a plan. They've approved a plan, rather, from Florida to create new detention centers, including one specifically in the middle of the Everglades that they are calling Alligator Alcatraz. And so this is the coolest thing. So here is a little video about Alligator Alcatraz.
This 30 square mile area is completely surrounded by the Everglades. Presents a efficient, low-cost opportunity to build a temporary detention facility because you don't need to invest that much in the perimeter. People get out, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Within just 30 to 60 days after we begin construction, it could be up and running and could house as many as 1,000 criminal aliens. This presents a great opportunity for the state of Florida to work with Miami-Dade and Collier counties. Alligator Alcatraz, we're ready to go.
Like,
I'm sorry, that's amazing.
I'm in love with it. It's like, you want to come to America and break the law? Welcome to Jurassic Park. I love this idea. You have no idea how much I love this
how we
idea.
always used to say they just need to like put piranhas and sharks and like all the things in the Rio Grande. And now this is what we get.
They watch our show, Mock. They watch it.
I love
They listen so much.
Love it.
You guys, are you going to get up and walk, or are you going to stay there for this? You're going to stay there?
For this, I'm going to stay.
You're going to stay? All right. Yeah. You guys make sure that you're hydrated. I drink a lot of water, especially in the summertime, because it is 1,000 degrees. It is like the degrees of the sun here in Texas. I stay hydrated with Native Path Hydrate. You guys, this is it's so yummy. It's very fruity. You can get an exclusive 44% off. A little random with the 44, but I like it. Plus free shipping and a free gift with your order. Visit nativehydrate.com/chicks. Totally check it out if you haven't. You will love it. You will be drinking so much water. So much. It is. I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. It has all the good stuff in it. Also, make sure that you're checking out our socials, chicksontheright.com/links. And please subscribe to this podcast if you haven't done that already. Just click the button.
Do it.
Click it.
So Trump went and didn't care about my knee at all and decided to make a bunch more news even yet this morning. As of about half an hour ago, he was making news. And I was like, would you just stop?
Do you not know who we are? Come on. DJT.
I have to rearrange all the videos. I have to, he doesn't realize how much work he's causing me.
No idea.
So we'll go on a very interesting 24-hour journey, because yesterday was packed full of mayhem and chaos.
Yeah,
and we'll take you through all of it. But first, we're going to get through some other quick little headlines, namely really good news out of the Supreme Court yesterday. They sided with Trump's administration in a 6-3 ruling, allowing the Trump administration to resume deporting criminal illegal aliens to countries other than their own. And so CNN reported that roughly 1 million people now are eligible to be deported to these other countries. Naturally, the people that dissented were the people you would expect: Sotomayor, Kagan, and Ketanji Brown.
Right. Yeah.
And now, as if federal judges weren't already on a huge power trip as it was, there is one in particular who's decided, I don't care what the Supreme Court says.
Right.
I'm just going to go ahead and continue to not allow these deportations, it's unbelievable, but it's happening. There's a federal judge that issued an order that completely ignored that ruling. And Stephen Miller was on Fox last night to talk about how there's going to be some fireworks about this today. Here is Stephen Miller.
Yes, this is an incredible victory, the Supreme Court win. It allows President Trump, as the law has long said, but the courts have blocked, it allows President Trump to send illegal aliens convicted of rape, murder, homicide, assault, battery, crimes against children to any country around the world that is willing to accept them. So whether that be South Sudan, or whether it be Somalia, or whether it be Ethiopia, any country in the world that is willing to accept these monsters, we can get them out of our country and be free of them forever. The only thing I have to share tonight, Sean, in a little bit of breaking news, is that the district court judge in Boston has said he's going to defy the Supreme Court's ruling. So expect fireworks tomorrow when we hold this judge accountable for refusing to obey the Supreme Court.
Apparently, this guy got jammed through the Senate in December, like during the lame duck session, like when the Democrats lost the House and Senate. And now, like 6 months into the job, he's like, I'm going to go ahead and just defy the Supreme Court. I'm going to go ahead and do that.
What in the world?
Yeah, he's just a complete douche canoe, this guy. So I can't understand it. Also, his name is Brian Murphy, which coincidentally, I know nobody cares. Point of personal privilege. My very first real date in high school was with a guy named Brian Murphy.
Wasn't that also the name of the astronomer guy, the professor that we used to talk to?
Yes, I think so.
That is also his. I don't know how I remember that.
That was such a Cliff Clavin moment that you just had. Like, you need to take that out and put something else in there.
I know, right?
I mean? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why that file is still filed, but
Brian Murphy. His name is Brian Murphy.
That was his name.
That's the judge's name. Anyways, I just like, what are they doing? Like,
there has to be a consequence for that, right?
Impeach him? I don't know. Can we do that? Let's do it.
I feel like the Supreme Court is above you.
Yeah, maybe just a little. I don't know. Just
what in the world?
I know.
Anyway,
out of control.
So that's going on. And then there was an interesting Biden sighting yesterday. There was a woman on vacation who I guess was so excited to see in person Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and presumably Hunter Biden's son enjoying themselves some ice cream on a beach park bench. Here is this woman completely freaking out and losing her mind over the best president that ever was.
Okay.
To be Joe, why are we just running to Joe Biden?
Oh my God, no, for real, y'all. It's Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
You the best thing that ever happened to us.
What? Did you just make Joe Biden laugh?
That was
wow.
A very odd encounter. And
very odd.
He didn't seem to care. He has no idea where he is.
He just knows he's got ice cream
in his adult diapers. That's it. He's all set.
So that happened. And then, of course, today is, oh my gosh, that sounded serious.
It's okay.
Is everybody all right?
Yeah, I think everybody's okay. Coda won't leave him alone, the new dog. And so, yeah, so sometimes they'll have like he'll get mad. You want to see a bear's right here. Bear,
oh yeah, everybody wants to see Bear.
He's too short to get. He's right next to me. You just can't see him.
Can you grab your camera and kind of like show? Oh, there.
Yes.
There.
Hi, baby.
Oh my God.
Who's the baby? Oh, who's the baby? There he is. Okay, I'm sorry. There he is. All right, so there's Bear. He's doing great. He's fitting in really. He's just a little confused right now. He has no idea.
Yeah.
And so I have this thing. We have this is way too much information, but I have we have a collar on Coda that I can beep it because he is obsessed with him. And I have this thing where I can beep him and go, can you just leave him alone? And so I beep
Coda's obsessed with
Coda's obsessed with him. Coda will not leave him alone. He just is like constantly on him. And I'm like, honey, you've got to like let him have his space. And so I'll beep him.
And so who are you beeping?
I'm beeping Coda. I'm beeping Coda.
Oh, okay. And so that's his signal. You need to back off.
You need to back off because he has no social, he's socially inept. Coda is. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that
so I beep him. I'm not shocking him or anything. I'm just beeping him. And he's like,
okay,
I know.
Well, that's good that he's responding to the noise.
He's responding. He's like, I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm sitting down now. This is what he does. So we're trying to train him to just like back off and let him just acclimate to the house. Anyways, we weren't planning on talking about that. I'm sorry, you guys. Anyways,
actually, I kind of was. And so
were you? Okay.
Well, everybody's wanted to see Bear.
This sweet Bear. He's laying right next to me right now. He's good. He's doing great. He's fitting in. He's doing great. But somebody gave me the 3-3-3 rule, which is 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, which is exactly what happened to Theo. It took him about 3 months to feel completely at home and comfortable. So we're giving him grace, and I think he misses his mama, you guys. His mama went to be with Jesus, and I think he'll look at me with his human eyes and he's like, you're not my mama, you know? And so So I'm trying so hard to, I know I get weepy, but I'm trying so hard to like tell him, it's okay. You're going to be great here. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have a great life. I know I'm not your mama, but I'll eventually be your mama. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
We'll get there.
What a
We'll get there.
sweet boy.
Mm-hmm.
Today is Tuesday, and it is also primary voting day in New York. And you guys, that freak Mamdani it's looking like he could pull this thing out, which means historically, whatever Democrat pulls out in front in the primary is likely to win the mayorship. And that is terrifying because he is an open and avowed socialist. And because he's, I guess, relatively, he's not unattractive. He's very vivacious. He's super charismatic. And he's doing this great campaigning where he's got all these great ads and people really like him. He's super smiley and it's working. And on stupid people, those are the things that work. And so what we were seeing yesterday is that he had jumped ahead of Andrew Cuomo for the primary. And again, whoever wins this is likely the next mayor. His odds are now above 53% on Polymarket.
My God, you're screwed.
Terrifying.
He wants government run grocery stores. I mean, that's just one of the many crazy ideas this guy had. What a disaster.
He's going to drive so many businesses out of New York, the city.
He'll ruin it. I mean, it's like, it's already a nightmare there. It's just going to be full on commie disaster if he gets, listen, you get the government you deserve. If they elect him, then you ask for it. You ask for it.
Oh God, people are so dumb. I mean, if they do this, I can. And he just got the endorsement of Letitia James last night. AOC has been promoting him like crazy. So all the crazy people adore him. That should tell you something. And here he is speaking at a Democrat Socialist of America event, you know, talking about how winning elections isn't necessarily the end game. Here is more from Zohran.
If socialism is our theory and DSA is our practice, then a committee is where the two meet. Or as they say on Twitter, it is praxis. We understand that winning an election is not an end. It is a means to an end. And as we contest for these offices across the country, I urge each and every chapter to begin the discussions internally about setting up such a committee.
These people never talk about like loving the communities and loving America and you know what I mean? Loving you never hear that kind of talk from these people. It's all about fundamental change and transformation. And that rubs me the wrong way.
It should. And it actually describes him as a person perfectly, because we've played this clip before. But just to remind folks, you're dealing with a complete chameleon. He stands for whatever is going to make his current crowd that's in front of his face fall in love with him. And he was called out about it by this reporter. And even being called out, he continues to smile and excuse it. Here's the reminder.
New Yorkers, more than they hate a politician they disagree with, they hate a politician they can't trust.
On the subject of trust, you've adopted different speaking accents in different scenarios.
But they go to their local bodega.
Is there one that's real and one that's affected?
What I would say is, as any immigrant knows, having been born in Kampala, Uganda, and then raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old, is there are different parts of my life.
A worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour.
Mamdani was talking about a worldwide press tour back when he was a rapper.
Bring the flavor to the fish, bring the flavor to the rice.
In a Disney movie directed by his mother.
Nepotism and hard work goes a long way. Here in New York City, this is how I speak, this is how I am.
Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan?
This guy, he is a con artist.
He could easily be the next mayor of New York City, of the
con artist. Total con. I mean, it fits, right? He's a con artist. He's running for mayor of New York City. I mean, it tracks.
It does track.
It tracks.
It tracks. And this is why I'm wearing the coolest shirt ever, you guys. Be awake, not woke. Get some coffee with values. That's right.
Yes, do that. You guys, I'm drinking it right now. This is cup number 3. I probably need 4. She's walking around. It's bold, unapologetic. They have swag. They have bundles. You guys need to check it out if you haven't already checked it out. Now, dark chocolate and blueberry crumble are my favorites. They have all like the regular coffees, like medium roast, dark roast, all that kind of stuff. But I also love the Morning Reaper, which is really, really good. That's their medium roast. They have all the things, all the flavors, if you're really into that. Precision roasted, ship fast, ethically sourced, highly caffeinated, really good stuff. There's a flavor for everybody, or non-flavors if you don't like that. So check out what they have at blackoutcoffee.com/chicks. Use code CHICKS at checkout for 20% off your first order. It's strong coffee, you guys. Good stuff that's never going to sell you out. That's blackoutcoffee.com/chicks. Code CHICKS.
I love their merch.
Their merch is great. Yeah, they have great stuff, you guys. I just got a hat from them. I love it. It's a camo hat. I love it. Love that hat. It's like become my new favorite hat.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So let's go on the 24-hour journey from yesterday. And we're going to kick it off. I know you're going to think this is super weird that we're kicking it off with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but there's been a lot of folks who have been very, very critical of Trump's actions with respect to dropping the bombs on Iran, the nuclear facilities. She is one of those people who has been very, very upset about it. And she was on the War Room yesterday to talk about this. Here is a little bit of MTG.
What? 6 months in, Steve, and here we are turning back on the campaign promises, and we bombed Iran on behalf of Israel. Yes, it was on behalf of Israel. We're entering a nuclear war, the World War III, because the entire world is going to erupt. And you want to know the people that are cheering it on right now? Their tune is going to drastically change the minute we start seeing flag-draped coffins on the nightly news, on Fox News that brainwashes all the baby boomers, and on CNN that brainwashes all the Democrat baby boomers. And that is exactly how this is going to go down.
Okay.
That was a little surprising.
Calm down. Just calm down. Just
Everybody
maybe just
calm down.
Like what is it that you always say? Take a beat. Just take a beat. You know? And that's the thing. I just wish people would have done that. It's just taking a beat.
Yeah.
There was a lot of hysterics last week. A lot of it. We saw it
People
all
are
over
calling
the
them the panicans.
The panicans. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that phrase, that word. And there was just a lot of that last week, all over the place, from influencers and everybody else. And I was just like, can we just let him cook? I feel like everybody just automatically wants to knee jerk with him all the time. Trump, I'm talking about Trump. And sometimes I just think, I feel like he's proven himself in a lot of different cases. And I just think people need to let him freaking cook.
Yeah. And remember that he is attempting to negotiate with countries who've been warring with each other for decades. That's
forever.
all they know at
Right.
this point. And he's getting frustrated, which of course we'll get to in a little bit. But also there was, some reminders. Matt Gaetz was on the Benny Johnson show reminding people Trump doesn't want war either. And it's like some of these people are just so convinced that he is anxious to get in. He wants American troops on the ground. That is the last thing he wants.
Or he's somehow being controlled by Bibi. That pisses me off. I mean, come on,
Yeah, there's nobody that can control Trump.
I know. Like, has he not proven that in the past 8 years? Yeah.
But and so for Marjorie Taylor Greene to say that he is doing this on behalf of Israel, I didn't like that. And I felt like she was just kind of overly hysterical in that moment. Mm-hmm. So she tried later on yesterday to backtrack, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but that's how it started. And then again, Matt Gaetz was on with Benny Johnson to make sure that everybody remembers Trump does not want American boots on the ground.
I don't really do readouts on that stuff, but what I could tell you is he is upbeat. He's very focused. He's very dialed in on this. And he is taking a lot of advice and input, and I think he's the best guy to synthesize it. The most important thing for your viewers, and I think for his administration, is he wants to make this a repeat of the Soleimani strike, not a repeat of the Iraq war.
Right. I totally agree with him. Yeah. And he looked so incredibly normal there, didn't he?
He was pretty normal. Like it wasn't quite as
Botox.
Botox and cartoonish as he's looked in other events.
It's like
he was just chilling in a hoodie.
Right. I know. It's like that's the thing. I don't know what it was. And his face didn't look all you know, like he would no makeup or anything like that.
Yeah.
Kind of refreshing.
It was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro, who, I mean, way in the beginning, you know, I know he was no fan of Trump early on, but man, he has changed his tune, and he offered some of the best, I thought, commentary about Trump's performance over the last few days, just full of compliments. And it was just nice to hear this from Ben Shapiro. Here it is.
Let me be 100% clear. President Trump has more spine, more intestinal fortitude, more cojones than any president of my lifetime. By far, it's not close. This, of course, is a historically courageous man, if that was not clear from the moment he stood up during the last campaign, shaking his fist and yelling, "Fight, fight, fight," after being shot in the ear. President Trump is a man who has courage. He said for decades Iran would not have a nuclear weapon, and then he kept his word. And keeping your word is unbelievably rare. Bill Clinton, 1995, quote, "We are determined to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons." George W. Bush, 2006, "Iran must not be allowed to develop nuclear weapons, period." Barack Obama, 2015, "I have stated that Iran will never be allowed to obtain a nuclear weapon." Joe Biden, 2022, "We will not allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon." Donald J. Trump, "Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and generals. Israel devastated their nuclear scientists, and President Trump waited. He offered Iran an off-ramp, and then another off-ramp, and then another off-ramp, off-ramps and off-ramps. And then, when they didn't take it, he acted brilliantly with our unparalleled American military, the greatest military in the history of planet Earth, bar none, no second competitors.
I mean, he's not wrong.
That is high praise.
It is high.
From Ben Shapiro.
It is high praise. It's about damn time. It is.
That was extraordinary. Meanwhile, Beto, one of your favorites.
Oh, God, is he still talking? Where is he?
I don't know if he's running for something. I don't know why he's doing rallies.
Dude.
I don't know. He just won't go away.
Seriously,
but this was on.
He could be a 4-time loser if he ran for anything.
I know. But this was on Sunday, where he was declaring openly and wrongly that we were in war, that America is at war, which is just factually inaccurate, at least as of when he was saying this on Sunday. Here he is.
The war that Donald Trump is waging in Iran today is an illegal war.
Shut up, Robert.
I mean,
Robert O'Rourke. Shut
up is
Your name is not even Beto. Nothing about you is authentic. Just shut up, you liar. Everything about him is a lie.
It is
Beto. Your name is not Beto. Just stop. Criminal.
Ridiculous.
Such a criminal.
He looks like a droopy
Beavis. He's like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. He's Beavis, you guys.
Yes.
Such an idiot.
Yes.
Like, why? Why do they keep putting that guy out there? Why? Why does he keep running for stuff?
I don't know.
How does he even have money to do that at this point? Is it his wife supports him? His wife is just supporting him because she's rich? Is that what's going on? Yeah, he is a fake Hispanic, John. He's a fake Hispanic. Stop it.
Mm-hmm. I know everybody is very, very excited to have, even if only briefly, met Bear. And I'm sure that Bear is getting used to the Ruff Greens. Maybe he didn't have that with his other mama, but I bet he's getting used to it now.
He is. We're starting him on the Ruff Greens. He didn't. He did not have Ruff Greens before. We're starting him on it now. We actually did that with Theo when he first came to us. He was a hot freaking mess. Oh, I think my husband's home. I'm sorry. They're all getting up. All 3 dogs. They heard me talking about them, and so they're up now. But naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, he created Ruff Greens. It is the #1 all natural dog supplement. It's great. You sprinkle a little bit on their food, on their dry, dead dog food, and it comes to life. It makes sure that your dog has more energy, a shinier coat, which I can attest to with Theo for sure. And I'm hoping that Bear will have the same thing. Better digestion, all of the good stuff, real lasting results. It's not a replacement. It's just like what they're missing and you just put it on top. So it's the best stuff ever. We love it. We use it for all of our dogs. Bear is #3 that's getting it. So you don't have to change your dog's food to change their health. Just add a scoop of Ruff Greens. Go to ruffchicks.com. Use promo code CHICKS to get a Jumpstart bag free. It's a $20 value. Just cover shipping. That's ruffchicks.com. Use promo code CHICKS. He's right behind me. God, if you can see
everybody all right?
You see his little head? You see his little head back there? Oh, sweet
face.
I have a feeling he'll be a permanent fixture in here. He likes it in here.
You know how like all the Democrats initially after the bombing, they were like, oh my God, this is unconstitutional and Trump needs to be impeached. And they're still whining about it still to this day. And they forget so quickly how many times Obama actually dropped bombs during his tenure, 26,000 plus in 7 different countries, not once going to Congress to get a vote on a new war. And at that time, the left was simply calling it, quote, nuanced foreign policy.
Right. And that was after he won the Nobel Peace Prize 9 months into his presidency. For what? He won the Nobel Peace Prize for what?
I still don't know.
Well, this is the quote: for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples, especially in the Middle East.
Was it because of the apology tour? Was it remember that?
They said that he championed dialogue across national, ethnic, religious, and political divides, especially seeking to reset relations between the Muslim world and the West. I'm sorry, I call bullshit on that. It's like,
that's ridiculous.
It was 9 months into his presidency. And then he's like, he does all this, like what we're looking at right now.
It's amazing to watch all the little press conferences that he held in advance of all of these bomb droppings.
Yeah.
Just saying, here's why we're doing it. Here's what's going on. And everybody was like, this is fine. This is fine.
Because he's Obama. He could do no wrong, right?
Today I authorized 2 operations in Iraq.
Unreal.
Targeted airstrikes to protect our American personnel. Last night, on my orders, America's armed forces began strikes against ISIL targets in Syria. Today, the American people give thanks for the extraordinary service of our men and women in uniform. Today, I authorized the armed forces of the United States to begin a limited military action in Libya. That action has now begun. Make no mistake, this is a difficult mission. Will remain difficult for some time. It's going to take time to dislodge these terrorists, especially from urban areas. If the United States has Al-Qaeda, bin Laden, top-level lieutenants in our sights, and Pakistan is unable or unwilling to act, then we should take them out.
That was all fine.
It's all, and he's like, and you get a pallet of cash, and you get a pallet of cash. You do. Just shut up, dude.
Gosh.
I swear, that music makes me want Christmas. I should start decorating my house.
I did not add that music. Okay, so if everybody's mad about the music, it's not my fault. That's how that video came. I just kind of liked it.
I feel like we should all decorate our homes for Christmas already. It's time, right? We've only got 3 months.
So there were some rumors going around socials that countries like, I don't know, Russia, China, there were some countries that were like, we'll just go ahead and give Iran all the nukes that they want. So Trump got wind of those rumors and he put out a tweet that made it clear he was not happy about that. If you want to read that.
Okay, here we go. Did I hear former President how do you pronounce that?
Medvedev.
Thank you. Medvedev from Russia, casually throwing around the N-word, nuclear, and saying that he and other countries would supply nuclear warheads to Iran. Did he really say that? Or is it just a figment of my imagination? If he did say that, and if confirmed, please let me know immediately. The N-word should not be treated so casually. It's true. I guess that's why Putin's the boss. By the way, if anyone thinks our hardware was great over the weekend, far and away the strongest and best equipment we have, 20 years advanced over the pack, is our nuclear submarines. They're the most powerful and lethal weapons ever built, and just launched the 30 Tomahawks. All 30 hit their mark perfectly. So in addition to our great fighter pilots, thank you to the captain and crew.
And he was pissed off at CNN and others for trying to downgrade or downplay the results of the bomb strikes. And so he also tweeted about that. And here that is.
Let's see if I can read that. The sites that we hit in Iran were totally destroyed, and everybody knows it. Only the fake news would say anything different in order to try and demean as much as possible. And even they say they were pretty well destroyed. Working especially hard on this falsehood is Alison Cooper of Fake News CNN, dumb Brian L. Roberts, chairman of Concast, Johnny Carl of ABC Fake News, and always the losers of, again, Concast, NBC, Fake News. It never ends with the sleaze bags in the media, and that's why their ratings are at an all-time low, zero credibility. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with them. I don't. They are sleaze bags, and they do have low ratings, and nobody's watching that crap anymore. He's not wrong.
No, he's not. And he's right to, to highlight the successes of what the military did.
Right.
About midday yesterday, there started to be some reports that that Iran was going to retaliate, and that the retaliation would come in the form of attacks on military bases in Qatar, and possibly other areas as well. And so everybody was kind of on the edge of their seat, waiting to see what is that going to look like. And then, of course, all the Candaces and everybody were like, see, we were totally right. They couldn't wait to celebrate the fact that our military bases were potentially going to get struck. Yep. And then there started to be some rumors that this is just a way for Iran to sort of save some face and like respond to the attack, but also give warning that they were going to do it. And so in essence, make sure that there were no casualties and no real destruction, but then it would allow them to tell their people, look at what we did. Like, we totally struck back because we're badasses.
Right.
So that's pretty much what happened. There was plenty of warning. I think they fired off some missiles, and like most of them were just sort of stopped. There was one that was let loose so that it could hit the ground and not really do any damage. And so after that all happened, Trump also tweeted about that. And here is that.
Okay. Iran has officially responded to our obliteration of their nuclear facilities with a very weak response, which we expected, and have very effectively countered. There have been 14 missiles fired, 13 were knocked down, and one was set free because it was headed in a non-threatening direction. I am pleased to report that no Americans were harmed and hardly any damage was done. Most importantly, they've gotten it all out of their system, and there will hopefully be no further hate. I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost and nobody to be injured. Perhaps Iran can now proceed with peace and harmony in the region, and I will enthusiastically encourage Israel to do the same. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I love the whole, they're going to get it out of their system. It's like dealing with toddlers. You know what I mean?
Totally. Let them
get it out of their system. It's like, he's such a dad and granddad. He's like, just let them get it out of their system. They're acting like children,
Yeah.
Let them just duke it out.
Yeah. And so before he had tweeted that, it was becoming clear that that's what was happening. So Dave Rubin had tweeted out, no, World War III is not starting. I know the woke right wants it badly. Otherwise, their entire grift is up. But sorry, it's not happening. And then he retweeted, I think this was from the New York Times, post saying Iran coordinated the attacks on the American airbase in Qatar with Qatari officials and gave notice that attacks were coming in order to minimize casualties. This, according to 3 Iranian officials familiar with the plans. So that seemed, to sort of make sense. And then Dave Smith chimes in. And you guys know I am fighting mad about Dave Smith. And I responded, I'm going to have you read my response because I was so mad at him.
Oh my God. So do you want me to read his first? Read his?
Yeah.
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 Okay,
his is first. And here it is.
Hopefully now, with Iran giving prior warning to avoid civilian casualties in their response and Trump signaling is over, this can end. If this is the case, which is not at all clear yet, then we flirted with disaster for absolutely no reason. Iran didn't have nukes and hadn't made, oh my God, and hadn't made the decision to attempt to acquire them. This is according to the DNI annual threat assessment, the CIA, and the IAEA. Nothing has demonstrably been gained by this. The Trump administration and the Israelis have been boasting about devastating Iran's nuclear program, but it's completely unclear if that's true, even to them. Even if they did destroy a lot of equipment, the Iranians can rebuild and the regime will remain in power, now more incentivized than ever to get nuclear weapons. This guy.
I was like, could you be on every possible covering of every base?
Right.
Oh my God. I was
Do you
so
stand
mad.
for anything, Dave?
I was like, nothing about this made sense. So here is what I said back.
I can't wait. What? Let me see if I have this straight. Iran didn't have nukes and hadn't decided to acquire them. They were just saying openly that they'd rather face war than not enrich uranium. And their nuclear programs were just 300 feet underground because they were totally on the up and up and super peaceful. And anyway, even if the U.S. and Israel were successful in stopping the nuclear program, it doesn't matter because Iran will just rebuild their non-existent program better than ever. And they're even madder now. Dude, do you even hear yourself anymore?
Like, what in the world?
This guy is just shut up. Go back to doing comedy.
I just can't. I
Really
cannot
bad
with him.
comedy. Like, just
Oh my
ride
God.
the coattails of Joe Rogan. Go do that.
He's just there. He's out of control. Out of control.
Did anybody even know who this guy was before Joe Rogan? Just asking the question. Just asking.
I don't think so.
Okay, just asking.
You need to tell everybody about Freedom Project Academy.
I love Freedom Project Academy. I love them. Okay. The pendulum is swinging. I think wokeness is starting to kind of slowly fade. At least we're mocking it. We're mocking it because it deserves to be mocked, but our public school systems are completely infiltrated by wokeness still. And most public schools are failing our kids, you guys. Millions of kids can't read, write. I saw it even, years ago when I taught at the college level. Some of them are just getting to college and they don't know how to do these things, which is unacceptable. We cannot afford to keep dumbing down our kids. They're the future. And Freedom Project Academy, they offer classical education for pre-K through high school. It's a fantastic organization. They have perfected online learning for the past 15 years. They offer live anytime and homeschool courses for students in K through high school, pre-K through high school, actually. They're built on Judeo-Christian values. They're dedicated to the mastery of subject matter. Students will read full books. They write in cursive. They study the full scope of history. They graduate with knowledge that is like way above their public school peers. Right now, they're celebrating their 15-year anniversary. You can visit freedomforschool.com and save 15% off all courses when you use code CHICKS15. That's CHICKS15 for 15% off all live, anytime, and homeschool courses. I love it because even if you have a kid that's in public school and you want to supplement, you can do that. Or if you're into homeschooling, this is the great place to go, the greatest place to go. So go to freedomforschool.com and take back your kids' education, you guys. Do it.
All right. So we're moving forward through yesterday and we got to, I want to say, the dinner time hour. And all of a sudden, Trump tweets this.
Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world, during which ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful. On the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will, I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12th-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't. And never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America.
In case there was any question
All
about
right,
that.
in case people didn't know. Yeah. So that was a nice a nice little tweet.
That was like, wow. Oh my gosh. And then
Right.
as that was coming out, JD Vance was appearing on Special Report with Brett Baer. I don't know what's wrong with this video. It's super weird visually, but the sound is fine. And that's the most important thing.
Okay.
So JD was asked, obviously, in real time, this just happened. You know, what do you know about it? What can you tell us? And so here is what JD told.
We were actually working on that just as I left the White House to come over here. So that's good news that the president was able to get that across the finish line. I think what it means, Brett, is quite simple. First of all, the president, without, knock on wood, having a single American casualty, obliterated the Iranian nuclear program. We are now in a place where we weren't a week ago. A week ago, Iran was very close to having a nuclear weapon. Now, Iran is incapable of building a nuclear weapon with the equipment they have because we destroyed it. So that's a very, very big thing. Now, what that means, I think, is we have to talk to Iran and, of course, to Israel about what the future holds. Because while we have obliterated the Iranian nuclear program, our hope and our expectation is that they're not going to try to rebuild that program. And I think that's what the president is really trying to figure out here, is to build a long-term settlement here to where we can have peace in the region, where our regional allies and, of course, the American people, most importantly, can be secured, but where we can ensure that the destruction of the Iranian nuclear program that has already happened is not something they try to rebuild. Well, I think what the president is saying very clearly, Brett, is if the Iranian people want to do something about their own leadership, that's up to the Iranian people. What the American national security interest here is very simple. It's to destroy the nuclear program. That's what we've done. And now that the 12-day war appears to be effectively over, we have an opportunity, I think, to restart a real peace process. And
so that was exciting, but then also super confusing, because not a terribly long while later, Yasser Ali tweeted, CNN, quoting a senior Islamic Republic of Iran official, says no ceasefire proposal has been sent their way. Which, of course, Glenn Greenwald jumped on. And he also tweeted something along those lines, saying Iranian officials tell CNN they have not received nor agreed to any ceasefire, as President Trump announced. Tehran-based Professor so-and-so says below that a ceasefire is fake news. I guess we'll find out for sure one way or the other in about 6 hours. And so then Candace also jumping on this news. That, you know, that's I think the thing that bothers me about the Tuckers and the Candaces and the Glens and all these people is that they take delight out of the potential failure.
Oh, without
you know what
question.
I mean?
They take
I
absolute
hate that.
Oh, they want this war. They want it. They want it.
But they're saying that they don't in this way that's like, see, this is what we said was going to happen, and then they take this joy out of it, and it's just it's just like, so weird.
Yeah, because they don't want peace. And they don't want peace, because I think, and there is a level of anti-Semitism there that is like, it's just so underlying, because they don't want, why don't they want peace? Why wouldn't you want peace? Why wouldn't you want that? I'm asking.
Well, they claim that they do, and that they're mad at everybody who's trying to make this a thing.
Yeah, but
they're mad at Trump for dropping the bombs. They don't want any American involvement. They just want it all to stop.
Then why wouldn't you, at face value, go, okay, if there's a possibility for peace, I'm going to try to accept that possibility, because I want it so badly. If you want something, you're going to at least try to accept the possibility of it. That is, if you, I feel like there's such an underlying hatred there that they're just like, we don't want that. So we're going to,
it's just the naysaying. So she was like, hate to be the cynic here, guys, but Bibi Netanyahu has called for a regime change. And that means one way or another, there will be one, perhaps going the favored color revolution route, or quote, Iran violated the ceasefire route, but Bibi does not do peace. You can shout in the comments, but be sure to bookmark this tweet at the same time. So she's very, very excited about the possibility of being right. You know what I mean? And saying, look we're in war and I called it. That's like what's most important to her at this point.
Isn't pride one of the 7 deadly sins? Isn't
you'd think as a strong, devout Catholic, she would know that.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Catholics don't. I don't know. I'm not Catholic anymore. I don't know. Somebody can chime in.
So as the ceasefire was sort of the news of the moment, Marjorie Taylor Greene was getting questions from a reporter who had called her on the phone. This is why we played the video of her earlier, in the war room, criticizing Trump for dropping the bombs in the first place. And then this reporter was asking her, I thought, pretty reasonable questions about her stance on and her disagreement with Trump about his choice to drop the bombs. And all of a sudden, she is like super proud of herself for ripping into this journalist. She tweeted out, I just ripped a reporter for his attempt to smear me, lie about me, and push a fake narrative that I don't support President Trump. Here's what I had to say to him. And then she posted this like almost 5-minute video. We're obviously not going to play the whole thing, but you tell me if she's the one that looks like the winner in this conversation, because I think she sounds ridiculous. Here she is.
There is no break. There is no split. There is no lack of support from me to President Trump. And so this would be a narrative or a lie that you're creating or someone's asking you to create. And I will not tolerate it one single bit.
Got it.
And so I just want you to know how I am perceiving your interview here is more of an attack piece on me. And I don't know who is putting you up to it, and I don't know why you're writing it, but I think it's absolute bullshit, and I'm going to completely reject it. And I just want you to know, I'm warning you right now, you are going to be spreading lies about me. You're putting out a complete narrative about me that is not true, and I'm warning you not to do this.
I was just back to Iran for a second. I'm just wondering, do you think things are going in the right direction for the White House on this decision? Do you think it's going to prove they're going to prove themselves having made the right decision or not?
I know President Trump very well. He does not want to be involved in forever foreign wars. He doesn't want boots on the ground. He doesn't want to pursue these things. I think I haven't gotten the briefings that he's gotten. Congress hasn't even received a classified briefing. We get one tomorrow. I fully support President Trump, but I'm also my own person with my own opinion, and I can speak out and say I am against being involved in foreign wars. That is what I campaigned on, just like President Trump. That's why people elected me, along with the full agenda that we promised. So there's nothing wrong with me saying that I'm against this. Half Republican voters, or even more than that, are against bombing foreign countries. They are 100% against foreign wars. So it's okay for me to say things like that. And this is America, where we're allowed to have differing opinions. And I'll go back to what I said in the first place. President Trump, he clearly likes differing opinions. He's got RFK that ran against him for president in 2024, serving as a secretary at HHS. He's got Tulsi Gabbard, who ran against him in 2020, serving in his administration, and many others. There's nothing wrong with having a difference of opinions. I fully support President Trump, and I think that his administration is doing a great job.
Have you talked to him directly about it?
I don't have to answer any more of your questions because I am sick and tired of your narrative, and I'm calling it out as complete and total bullshit.
What?
Okay.
So we're done. No, we're done.
Okay. He was on the other line going, okay, I'm sorry. It's just like, I can't.
He's like, I just watched you on the War Room, like losing your shit about this decision.
Right. I just wanted to
and
talk
now
to
you're
you
telling
about
me
it.
that I'm pushing a narrative. What?
She looked a little, listen, a lot of these people in the past couple days have been saying, oh my God, Trump is leading us into war. When it actually, like a lot of us who didn't go on this knee-jerk crazy, oh my God, we just were like, no, actually he's just doing like a strategic strike on nuclear things. He's just doing that. He's trying to take out their nuclear capabilities. That's it. Because he's been saying that for like 9 years that they can't have a nuke. You know what I mean? He's just like, he's keeping his word. That's all he's doing. He's not declaring war on anybody. But all these people are like, oh my God, it's war. And then now that he's basically he's followed through, and he's like, no, it wasn't war. I was actually just trying to take out their nuclear capabilities. They're like, oh, well, shit, I may not have looked so good in the past couple of days. So I got to, and so they're, I feel like that's where we're at now with some of these people is they're like, well, crap, I didn't look like I was supporting the president. So now I got to backtrack. How am I going to make this good? How am I supposed to smooth that over? Maybe just say you were wrong. Maybe just say
that's not going to happen.
But why can't people just do that? You know what I mean? Like, why, if you're wrong, if you felt like you were wrong about it, just say, you know what? I was wrong. I probably should have not said those things. And maybe I should have trusted him because there's not been a time in the past, you know, however many years where he's given me a reason not to trust him. This guy's got balls of platinum, and I probably should have just maybe sat back and waited for things to happen before I jumped to conclusions and freaked out on social media. Why is that so hard? Why can't people just be freaking adults about it?
It's very interesting to watch it all.
It is, isn't it?
And it's so ever changing. So again, you know, a lot of people, like last night, I think Abby Phillips' show on CNN that has Scott Jennings on it is at 10 o'clock. And so they're working with the assumption that the ceasefire is happening, that everything is coming to this awesome conclusion and that Trump played this perfectly. And that's what they're working with. So there was Scott Jennings and there was some former Obama aide, some blonde chick who seemed completely drunk, you guys.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So
oh
she's all mad at Scott because Scott is feeling good. Like he's like, wow, what an incredible couple of days.
Right.
And the fact that we're now in this ceasefire, like this is amazing. He's, you know, feeling victorious on behalf of Trump. She calls him out on it, talking about popping open the champagne. And so he said back, anyway, I'm not going to give any more away. Just watch this gloriousness.
I'm just saying, you're popping champagne. Oh, Trump, I'm taking my victory lap over here, and I think it's a little premature. That's all I'm saying.
Victory lap. Who's for American Which leadership? Of us is popping champagne?
He's like, which one of us is doing the drinking, my lady?
Because he's like, Brenda, you're drunk. Go home. What is going? Like seriously, she was lit, wasn't she?
Yeah, she just seemed.
She's like,
I mean, that was so crazy. Oh my God,
there was something happening there.
Yeah. So then around midnight, okay, so we're working ourselves up until now, essentially. Around midnight, Trump tweeted this. Go ahead and read that.
Israel and Iran came to me almost simultaneously and said, peace. I knew the time was now. The world and the Middle East are the real winners. Both nations will see tremendous love, peace, and prosperity in their futures. They have so much to gain and yet so much to lose if they stray from the road of righteousness and truth. The future for Israel and Iran is unlimited and filled with great promise. God bless you both. How do you not love this? Who are you? If you don't see awesomeness in this, in this tweet alone, if you poo-poo this, I don't want to be friends with you. I don't like how could this guy, it doesn't want war. Right. Just from this tweet alone. This is not a warmonger. This is not a Lindsey Graham. Okay. Lindsey Graham, by the way, is in a freaking fetal position in the corner, rocking back and forth. He's so pissed that there's not war right now. He's so mad today. He's like, gosh, darn it. I wanted war. Like Trump does not want war based on this alone. You should see this if Dave Smith and all the other people out there should see that this guy wants peace in the Middle East. That's what he wants. He's trying so hard to make that happen. I can't help you if you can't see that.
So then it got super confusing because, and even, I mean, you got to admit the first tweet that Trump put out about the ceasefire with like somebody's stopping at 12 hours in and then like in 6 hours, then somebody else is going to stop and they both need to behave. It was very confusing. And so naturally with that confusion led to more confusion because then there was an explosion in Israel. Apparently 4 people were killed, lots and lots of people injured as a result of an Iranian strike. Now, I don't know the timing of that strike, like where it fit into the 12-hour or 6-hour ceasefire parameters, but everybody is confused about it. And so that happened. And then Iran was like, no, we didn't do that. And Israel's like, yeah, you did. We've got a bunch of dead people here and we're not going to take this. And so all kinds of confusion started happening. And so at about 3 a.m., because Trump does not stop working about this about him, we all know, at about 3 a.m., he started hearing that there was some more firing of missiles. And Yasser Ali tweeted, the Islamic Republic of Iran has violated the ceasefire agreement. The Israeli defense minister says that he has instructed the IDF to respond forcefully by hitting regime targets in Tehran, which prompted Trump, again, this was at around 3 o'clock in the morning or so, saying, the ceasefire is now in effect. Please do not violate it. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. So this is when things just got completely crazy. And then the IDF themselves tweeted out, yeah, the ceasefire is done. They said, in light of the severe violation of the ceasefire carried out by the Iranian regime, we will respond with force. And so then Sky News has on their reporting that Iran is saying, we didn't do it. So here's their report. Make of this what you will. It's all getting so completely crazy.
Iranian side saying that this is a news report coming from Iran saying that the news that they have broken the ceasefire is false. So we shall see. There'll be no doubt more exchanges on this coming forward.
I mean, I don't know how you say it's false when people have died. You know what I mean? But Trump tweeted out, and this was at almost 7 this morning. This is when I was like, please stop making news. Can you just stop making news?
We're trying to plan a show. Just stop. Oh my God.
So he tweeted to Israel, specifically, Israel, do not drop those bombs. If you do, it is a major violation. Bring your pilots home now. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States.
Oh my God.
So that happened. And then he's on his way to like the Netherlands or something. And so he stopped to speak with reporters and actually dropped an F-bomb on national television talking about this. He is, as Ashley Judd used to say, he has reached the up with which he can no longer put. He is pissed off at both Israel and Iran.
Rightly so.
Right. Here's what he said.
Or just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand?
I think it's, listen, people are so, I saw people on Twitter this morning and they were all butthurt that he said the F-bomb. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Grow up. Grow up. Okay.
That's the guy has the Democrats playbook anyway. They should like it. They've all been told to start dropping it.
Well, yeah. I mean, when I see Democrats that are butthurt by the fact that he dropped an F-bomb, I'm like, you guys had like transgenders with bolt-ons on the White House lawn and you're upset about the F-bomb because he's doing his job and he's trying to create peace in the Middle East. Take all the seats. Go sit at the kids' table. We got grown-ups in the room trying to make shit happen. I'm sorry you're upset by an F-bomb. Oh no. I just cannot with these people. Like the outrage over stuff like this. Who can blame him for this?
Oh my God. I can't imagine how furious he is with both. And I get it. I mean, there's lots of confusion and it's under the cover of darkness. And that's when all the missiles start flying and you don't know who's starting what and at what time of the ceasefire and at what point. And everybody just needs to stop, right? And take a beat. And then
they need to take a beat. But I totally can sense that he's so pissed, and I'd be pissed too. Because I'd be like, listen, we're trying to create at least a little bit of a just stop fighting. It's like it is like dealing with toddlers. It's like dealing with toddlers who are just at each other's throats. And it's like, fine. Beat the crap out of each other. At this point, I don't really give a crap. You know what I mean? Like, we're just trying to create some peace here. That's what he's trying. And he works harder than any other president that's ever worked for us in history, at least in my lifetime. He's working harder than, and so I don't know, just stop acting like the F-bomb offends you. I just get so it's like, what did you do yesterday, Carl? You know, this is, you know, Trump he's doing the best that he can. more than anybody has ever done for peace in the Middle East. He's trying. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. So naturally, Candace released a podcast. She and Ian Carroll released this podcast. And again, it's fine. Like if you're going to have a different opinion about how you want all of this to be worked out, that's fine. But the gloating and the smugness is what just grates on me right now. We're going to show you what we mean in just a second. But first, Daisy needs to talk to you about keeping your information
about
secure.
Aura. I totally do. There was identity theft at Glen Valley Foods in Omaha. It left over 100 Americans facing financial, legal, and emotional turmoil after illegals stole social security numbers to get jobs, money, and benefits, you guys. This stuff happens every single day. So if you haven't already, y'all need to protect yourself with Aura. Our sponsor, Aura, they are awesome. They defend you against stolen identity. They alert you to breaches in your security before it becomes a huge problem. When I first signed up for Aura, I had 4 security alerts that popped up, completely clueless about all of it. And then they helped me resolve them that day. Same day. They monitor your social security number, your credit, your financial accounts for all sorts of suspicious activity. They send you alerts. You can get alerts like via your phone and everything before fraud gets out of hand. They just help you take care of stuff. It's an all-in-one digital security solution. And you may have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking the front door, but then having your back door like wide open. So get alerts. You know, get Aura. Sign up at aura.com/chicks. Get Aura for only $12 a month after the 2-week trial. I mean, that is just like nothing, you guys. It's like 2 coffees. In those 2 weeks, you're going to have robust defense against identity fraud and much more. So protect yourself with Aura. That's aura.com/chicks to get that special offer. Do it.
All right. So here's Candace, just a teeny tiny piece of her show she had on Ian Carroll as a guest. And again, it's the smugness that just makes me want, I get fist form. I don't condone violence on this show.
No, we don't. We don't condone any violence on the show. We don't.
But this just great.
Apparently, I'm back in time for World War III. And I hate to say that we told you so. By we, I mean me and Ian Carroll. Ian, I mean, it's incredible. And it's looking like we may be going to war, which either I had a crystal ball, you had a crystal ball, could see into the future, or this has been the most obvious and the most planned war in the history.
And we're not the only
wars.
ones. A lot of people saw it coming. Like, it was clearly the agenda. It's about
So I trust Tucker beyond, like, I mean, more than any person in politics. The MAGA movement is going to change, okay?
Yeah.
And there's no question about that. Do you have Dave Smith's tweet? Yeah, there's a tweet where he explains, like, he's talking about the Trump dilemma, and I think it's very well written.
Yeah, Trump is on the edge right now. He's ready to burn his entire legacy to the ground because everything was laid out for him. All he had to do was close the border, deport a bunch of people, and not go to war. And so far, it's failing on all 3 counts and actually going to the wars he didn't want. And like, it's really sad.
This is going to be the one that Candace is right jar, but it's not even that I'm right. I'm just paying attention. I'm just paying attention to stuff.
How is he not deporting people? What are the 2 things that I don't understand. What is he feeling about again? Because I feel like
I don't know.
We're deporting people though. Like that's happening. The border is completely secure. How is that a failure? Somebody needs to explain that to me because I don't see how that's a failure. Also, you know what I need to do is get a picture of myself on the front of my computer like she has.
You don't have that?
No, I mean, because I clearly don't love myself enough where I don't have a picture of myself on the front of my computer. I need to do that today. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I saw this tweet. I was telling Ron about this last night that somebody said, Candace has gone so far off the rails that I'm starting to believe that Emmanuel Macron's wife is a woman. She's just so all over the place.
So great. It's just so great.
And then I guess it was like last week where she had a message. She was all, amped up about World War III and how she was basically directing people in the military to get dishonorably discharged because who cares, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is what she said. And then you're going to hear a reaction to that from who is it? It's the Drinkin' Bros.
Yeah, the Drinkin' Bros podcast. Right? We love them. Yeah.
Yeah. So here she is and here they are.
War in Iran is on the agenda, and that appears so. Get dishonorably discharged. Who cares?
This person is an imbecile, and if you listen to anything she says, you are also an imbecile. That's pretty much how that goes. Now, to the legal point, This is a crime, and she should be arrested for it.
How so?
18 U.S.C. 2387 prohibits advising or encouraging troops to disobey orders with intent to interfere with military operations. Penalties can include fines or imprisonment of up to 7 years. I would arrest her right now for this.
Oh,
damn.
I did not know that.
Oh, damn. Well, I mean, you probably shouldn't tell people to just like skip out on their military service and get dishonorably just screw that. You know, you sign up for it, but you sign up to do those things. Mm-hmm. And then when you're asked to do those things, you're just going to go, no, I'm not going to do those things. What? Listen, I mean, it's like everybody that I know that's because I live near Fort Hood. Everybody I know around here, because my daughter goes to school with a lot of military people. One of her best friends wants to be in the military. She's like, her whole goal in life is to be in the Air Force.
Aw.
That's what this is what, like, yeah, right. She's such a badass kid. But I mean, I look at like these people, they don't go, okay, so I signed up for this. And now I'm not saying we're going to World War III, but if we did, they wouldn't be like, I'm out. Now that we're going, right. I signed up for it. Now that it's like actually happening, I'm out. That's not what these people do. She must be so far removed from these people, because these people would be like, okay, I'm called to serve. All right, I'm going to do that. Because that's what military people do.
Yeah, I feel like when you enlist, you know that your whole primary function is to defend the country in a war situation. Like, I feel like that's the job of the military.
That's kind of the job description. It's kind of
I feel like that's the main point of the job description.
It's kind of the job description. Yeah, I don't.
Anyway, she has become very tiresome to me.
A little bit weird. Yeah.
I know it's early, you guys, but it's already time for my Pillow Toks, because we are trying to keep the show a little bit shorter so I can get back into bed.
Right.
And to kick it off, we have another one of the most phenomenal AI news reports. This is when AI is fun, right? It's also a little scary, but also really fun. Check this out.
Evening, I'm Lisa Carter. A new skate park just opened at the White House, and President Donald Trump is stealing the show. Here's the story.
It's a historic day at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The White House skate park is open, and President Trump has been here since dawn, dropping absolute hammers, skate tricks that have everyone buzzing.
He's been dropping hammers all day.
Right.
Crowd stunned. Guy hasn't missed a trick since sunrise.
Trump caught on a hot mic today talking about the moment the 46th president showed up to skate the park today. Let's go to the audio.
I had no idea President Joe Biden was just another scooter fag. Why would anyone ride a scooter? It baffles me to no end.
Of Iran made a surprise appearance at the White House skate park grand opening, and here's what President Trump had to say about it.
Can you believe it? Total fruit booter. Unbelievable. Now we know why Bibi bombed the hell out of them.
Oh my God. I'm going to be using all these words and the word combinations in my daily vernacular. Fruit booter. Okay.
Isn't that the greatest thing?
It's the greatest.
Somebody in the comments was like, this is totally real.
It's totally real. You didn't know that? Have you ever seen him? Like, I watched Trump in a video from, years ago, like 20 years ago. He was at some function where they were playing tennis, and he's like, oh yeah, I play tennis. And he gets out there and he like just starts, I think we played it on the show a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Where he gets out, he just starts playing tennis, and he's like kicking everybody's ass. And I'm just like, what? Can this guy do everything? Like what? And that's when he was married to Marla, remember?
That's right. That's right.
He was just like, yeah, I'll play tennis, whatever. I mean, he just gets out there and starts just nailing them. And you're going, what? Okay. He does all the things. So, I mean, if he can skate, it wouldn't actually surprise me if he could do the skateboarding thing. But that was, in fact, AI. It was.
That was, in fact, AI. I know it's hard to believe.
It was.
But it was. There is a very viral TikTok going around of a gentleman who's sitting in his car, and he's talking about a potential draft and who he would like to see drafted if, in fact, the draft returns. He likes his jokes a little bit too much, which gets on my nerves a little bit, but he is awfully funny, too, at the same time. Please enjoy the list of people he would like to see drafted.
I just want to know if you'll make it through round 2 of the draft. Number 1. Casey Anthony. If you can get away with it here, you'll love it there Drafted. You're gone. I don't care. Gone. People who use zodiac signs to justify shitty behavior. Oh, you're an Aries? Now you're an airman. Drafted. I don't care. Gone. Loud chewers. Front of the fucking line, bitch. Drafted. I don't care. Bye. People who wait for their cereal to get soggy before they eat it.
Ew.
Who does that?
Your
Who does
sociopathic
that?
behaviors are needed.
That's
Overseas,
crazy.
that is. Drafted. I don't care. Gone. Bitter parents who refuse to let their children see the other parent. Your child's gonna grow up to hate you, and I hope I'm there to see it.
It's
Drafted.
true.
I don't care. Bye.
Angelina Jolie.
Any dude who is between the ages of 18 and 23 who refer to themselves as a YN. Yeah, no. Drafted. You're gone. I don't care. White women who play Lil Boosie at 7 a.m.
Who play what?
No. I guess you ain't about what you be talking about. Drafted. I don't care. Whoopi Goldberg. Drafted. I don't care.
Yeah. That would
Drafted.
be great. And Sunny.
Flat
Sunny
earthers.
too.
Maybe while you're on the plane headed overseas, you can see the fucking curvature. Drafted. I don't care. You're out. You're good. Lily Tino.
Yes.
Stay the fuck out of Disney. Drafted. You're
Is that the transgender?
Yes.
Yes.
Pedophiles and people who defend pedophiles. Front of the fucking line with you two, bitch. Drafted. You're fucking out of here.
This guy, I swear. It's his delivery. I kind of want to punch him for his delivery, but I do appreciate the list. We should probably come up with some more people for the list, you guys. Front of the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Front
the whole entire
of the line.
The whole entire view. Everybody on the view. Front of the line. Absolutely. Mhm.
And then lastly, we have an update from Josh Sider, who, as you know, has been going through some transformations, and he is transing in a lot of different ways. And we have seen his journey, and now there's a new part of the journey, and here he is to tell you about it.
Really shaking right now. If you thought ICE was only deporting illegal immigrants, they're not. They're also deporting Native Americans.
Oh my God.
I was just at the store by Hit the Casino, and I was buying some scratch-off tickets, and a bunch of ICE agents just burst through the front door. And they're like, "Get on the ground. What's your name?" And I explained to them, I used to be called Josh, but I was assigned the wrong American at birth, and I go by Walking Tomahawk now. And they're like, "What do you mean? You're not even a real Native American?" And I was like, "Excuse me, bigot? Real Native American? Do you understand how hurtful those words are to trans indigenous and trans aboriginal people like me?" And it's like, I'm literally just trying to exist on the reservation. And I can't even do that without them coming after trans.
His headdress is like from Amazon.
And trying to erase us in our
greatest.
identity. And they eventually let me go. I guess the person they were looking for really was here illegally. But it's like nobody is safe from Trump and his minions. It's like, you're literally on stolen land right now. How can you do this? You're literally on stolen land. This is our land.
The lipstick on his face. I just
oh my God.
Him. He's too much. The
He's
dollar
ridiculous.
store. Yeah, I know. Shelly, the dollar store headdress. I know, right? I can't. I love him.
Oh my God. So great. We have to thank Marilyn Air, who said, "Good morning, chicks. Welcome back, mock testimonial time. Lean weight loss helped me lose that last pesky 5 pounds and 2 inches from my waist.
Look at
the
that.
biggest benefit was resetting my appetite. I no longer need to stuff myself to feel full and satisfied when I eat." That is amazing.
That's
man.
a great testimonial. It's fantastic.
Yes, that
Really
is
great.
awesome. Now you.
Donna Bird, thank you for that super sticker. Hold on, I can't remember my I'm getting used to this new mouse. I'm sorry. It's different. Okay, hold on. Karen Elliott, Daisy, is a former service dog trader. A tip for you: if you hand feed Bear for a week or so, he will bond faster. It helps. God bless. I will do that, Karen. Thank you for the tip. He's right behind me right now.
He's such a good boy.
He's a very sweet boy. He's just a little we're trying so hard to give him all the love and the attention and the nurturing. So I will do that. Thank you for the tip. Tina Kramer, I'm so happy to be back with you ladies and my chick family. I was on vacation and off the grid for 2 weeks. That sounds glorious. I feel like I missed so much. Mock, I'm saying so many prayers for a quick recovery. Yes, you guys keep the prayers coming. She powered through this morning. I'm very proud of her. Tina Kramer, my husband thinks that Trump should build a prison in the middle of nothing frozen Alaska. I think people have talked about that, and then the Everglades was like, hey, let's do this.
We got gators. We got gators and pythons, man.
Right. The gators and the pythons are pretty good. Yeah. Let's see. Did I already get? Yes, I already got Tina. Okay. Leah Shalek. Iran woke me up 1 hour before my alarm. We spent 1.5 hours in the safe room, and then later in the middle of a work meeting, I had to go again. Balls. Leah. Wow. I just want it to end.
I know.
And Trump wants it to end too. You know, he wants it all to end. So we'll see what happens. Well, I guess, another day, another opportunity.
We could just not have so much news today.
We'll just see what happens. We will see. You guys bring it in. We're bringing it in. Everybody have a wonderful Tuesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.